Well, guys, 3 separate places in Snohomish County, these mass vaccination sites had to close their doors for a couple days because they simply don't have enough supply to meet the demand. This has been a continual frustration for officials in Snohomish County.
The bottleneck really still is supply.
After successfully opening several mass vaccination sites, according to this tweet from the Snohomish Health District, the sites in Everett, Edmonds, and Monroe will be closed tomorrow and Tuesday. Their reasoning? A lack of the Moderna vaccine.
Our current vaccine supply is still much less than the demand that's out there.
Dr. Chris Spitters with Snohomish Health District says even though this isn't what anyone wanted to see, it's important that we keep the faith.
It may not be today or tomorrow or even this week, but you will get an appointment soon.
But Snohomish County isn't alone in this allocation frustration. In places like Island County, vaccination sites have had to close and pharmacies have had to turn people away who were looking forward to getting inoculated.
Every single day we have to watch people disappointed and upset because they can't get their vaccine.
Natalia Resendez works at Island Drug on Whidbey Island, a small-town pharmacy that was given a small amount of doses but has had trouble having enough to meet the ongoing demand.
It's so frustrating. It's frustrating for them. It's frustrating for us. The worst part of my day is telling people they cannot have their vaccine today.
But as frustrating as it's been for some, officials say being patient is all we can do while we wait for more doses to come to the state.
We understand the challenges the state faces, and if the federal government also has got some challenges there, but these early days are going to be a little rough.
A lot of excitement out there today, Steve. So many of them have been working throughout the entirety of this pandemic. So to get that very first dose comes as a big sigh of relief. And you mentioned it, very soon they'll be seeing that extra bit of financial help in their paychecks. Waiting their turn on this cold and drizzly day, anxious grocery store workers lining up for that first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine.
We go in day in and day out and just try to do our job. And it's just nice to see someone sort of acknowledging that.
As far as protecting my workforce and my team and the city, my community, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
The City of Seattle and Seattle Fire partnering with the local United Food and Commercial Workers Union chapter to make all of this possible.
Grocery stores have been a lifeline during this pandemic.
Right now, the city is receiving just 1,000 doses every week.
We'd like to be giving 1,000 a day, by the way.
And effective early Wednesday morning, these workers will be making an extra $4 an hour under a newly passed city ordinance. The UFCW, which represents 48,000 people statewide, willing to fight any pushback from chains that threaten to cut hours or jobs because of it.
I think the community will stand with grocery store workers who have been taking care of us since the beginning of this pandemic and make sure that the companies don't take it out on the workers who have made the profits for these companies.
And as the state and Seattle itself works to boost its vaccine supply, the mayor says she has spoken with the Biden administration to get more doses to cities that are standing up mass vaccination sites. Work also continues in building trust and confidence among people of color.
That's why it's so important for us to build these relationships and to get vaccines to the community health clinics.
Well, first of all, we checked in with 3 different businesses. We checked in with a brewery in Bellingham, a restaurant on Whidbey Island, and then a restaurant in Sequim. They all tell me that they are frustrated. They say it's not fair that they have to wait another 2 weeks before they move forward.
Incredibly frustrating.
Jen Urians, owner of Saltwater Restaurant and Prima Restaurant in Langley on Whidbey Island, doesn't understand the governor's latest move.
It's frustrating knowing that Seattle, King County, is able to open with such staggeringly higher cases than we have.
Starting Monday, Puget Sound region and West region move forward to phase 2. Others remain in phase 1. That includes Island County. Urians had to temporarily close her French bistro there, and she only counts on takeout and outdoor dining for her seafood restaurant.
It makes very little sense to me how we are clumped with Whatcom County and Skagit County. How is Island County not moving forward while King County is? It feels arbitrary. It feels frustrating. So many people's livelihood is at stake here.
In Whatcom County, Stemma Brewery is open for outdoor service, but it's been tough for the Bellingham business.
It's only 45 today, but sitting outside drinking cold beer isn't always enjoyable. So breweries are kind of set up a lot of times with huge roll-up doors because of the brewery operation that we're making things work, I think, a little better than our restaurants, especially downtown, are really hurting.
And in Clallam County, a popular gathering space in Sequim has always been the Oasis Bar and Grill. That restaurant is really pushing to move on to phase 2 and 25% indoor dining. For now, though, they're stuck at phase 1.
No, it sucks. It's terrible. You know, we've been in lockdown for 11 weeks now. Then an additional 2 weeks will put it 13 weeks out. So that's denying us a chance to even try to earn a living. That's a long time.
Well, Michelle, there is some concern, but when you're looking at the data, many of these doctors are hopeful that we will continue to be able to see a lowering trend in case counts. But the big concern they have overall is that this new variant may push us back to square one.
Dr. Jeff Duchin with Public Health Seattle and King County says it as plainly as possible.
Our COVID roller coaster ride continues.
Because after reaching historic heights when it came to cases and hospitalizations, Duchin and other doctors say it appears we're on a downward swing.
It's very good news that our cases have been declining for 3 weeks.
Declining case rates are partly why the Puget Sound region, made up of King, Snohomish, and Pierce counties, are able to move on to phase 2 of the governor's Healthy Washington plan. But even as we are that much closer to visiting restaurants once again, the looming fear is that the UK COVID-19 variant will cause cases to go right back up.
This is something that we must assume is circulating in our community.
Nigel Turner with Tacoma Pierce County Health says even though we've only discovered a handful of cases of the variant in the Puget Sound region, our case counts aren't low enough for us to sit back and relax.
It's still at a very high level and certainly continues to be a source of concern and the reason we need to keep going with our prevention measures.
Measures that doctors support, like wearing masks and staying socially distant. But as we go into phase 2, a rule of thumb that Dr. Duchin has said for months is just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
We want to be able to do as much as possible, but in order to do that, we have to be extremely safe, and we need to be very cognizant of the need to take all the possible safety precautions.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston Phillips from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.